Chris, I remember sitting with Mecole Hardman at the Super Bowl last year in L.A. I was probably wearing my same $7 Under Armour polo shirt. And we talked about what a big year it was going to be, and does he want a new contract? Does he want to prove himself? And, he didn't have a huge season for the Kansas City Chiefs. And somebody suggested early in the process on Twitter that he's injury-prone, and he bristled at that. And he's just one of those guys that fell into the big money isn't there, let's go do a one-year deal. We got on that fairly early, maybe by the end of last week. Hey, if you're not signed now, your best bet's going to be a one-year deal. That's what Moore does. 1 year worth up to $6.5 million. Of course, up to is the way that the agent covers for the deal not being as good as it was supposed to be, because up to means he's got to earn every incentive, and sometimes those incentives are outlandish. We don't know what the base number is yet, but it's up to $6.5 million. Not what we thought Mecole Hardman was going to do. We thought last year he'd be, even with the influx of new receivers like Juju Smith-Schuster and Sammy Watkins for a while, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, we still thought Mecole Hardman would be the guy with the best opportunity to replace Tyreek Hill, replace that production, and it just didn't happen. So now he goes to the Jets, and he awaits Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good move by the New York Jets. I think there's a few things at play. You kind of alluded to one of them at the start of the open there. One, Mecole Hardman has incredible potential. We know that he's more than a receiver. He's a weapon, right? We've seen that and how he's used with Kansas City, whether it's the return game, but the reverses and the speed sweeps and the screen passes. And then, of course, he is dangerous as a receiver because of his speed. Now, he's unproven in the capacity of being a consistent, really good number 2 receiver. He's shown flashes of it. He's had, certain, 4 or 5 game spans of it. But this last year, it was underwhelming. He dealt with a pretty serious injury and was not healthy. And I don't think ever, got to really put his best foot forward as far as, getting into the groove of the season, being healthy that way, and being able to take advantage of it. So he's exactly what you talked about, Mike. Yeah, he's a guy that knows he's better than what he's being paid. He didn't get it to set it up the right way last year. He's going to take another crack at it. So that's where it's great for Mecole Hardman. It's great for the Jets as far as what they got at receiver, right? They get Elijah Moore, who's a little cranky and not happy. Fine, see you later. Get your butt out of here. It also sets it up for Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have to deal with that crap. He probably would prefer some veteran guys around. So now he's got a Mecole Hardman who's come from the Chiefs. That makes sense. And they acquire a draft pick. To maybe if they have to sweeten the pot here with the Packers in this trade conversation, they can do that. So, all in all, I think some smart, well thought out, with some really potential for something bigger here with Mecole Hardman if it strikes the right way.
He was a second-round pick out of Georgia in 2019,
right.
And that selection came at a time when, remember, Tyreek Hill, who had an off-field issue, a serious off-field issue that got kicked out of Oklahoma State years ago, contributed to him being only a fifth-round draft pick when he entered the NFL draft. He had something that was hovering that caused him to stay away voluntarily from the offseason program, and there was a thought that Mecole Hardman was drafted to potentially be
replace that
the
guy.
Tyreek Hill replacement
across
the board. And early in his career, flashes, and it was positive. He averaged 20.7 yards per reception as a rookie on 26 catches, 536 yards. Last year, he had 25 catches for 297 yards. He was down to 11.9, and he only played in 8 games with 5 starts due to injury. And he was mad about the injury-prone label because he hadn't missed a single game in his career until last year. He had 16, and 17, not starts, but appearances.
Right.
And then last year, 8 appearances, 5 starts. And it was... And who knows? Who knows whether or not he was going to go back to the Chiefs. But I think the Chiefs, especially after last year, they're confident they can go round up a bunch of new guys. Patrick Mahomes will work with them, figure out what they can and can't do. And now we've seen both Juju Smith-Schuster and Mecole Hardman leave after that first post-Tyreek Hill season. And we'll see what he can do with the Jets. I'm a little surprised that it's not Randall Cobb. I'm a little surprised that it's a guy that Aaron Rodgers is going to have to get to know from scratch. And it's a great apples-to-apples comparison because last year, Mahomes rounded all those guys up, took them to Texas, got them comfortable with him, which is far more important, I think, than him getting comfortable with them. They need to be comfortable with him, especially new guys. Now, Hardman already knew him. Now, new guy for Mecole Hardman, new guy for Aaron Rodgers once this trade is done. All the more reason for Rodgers to spend time getting those guys comfortable with him.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think there, two things that you brought up there that I think are interesting. Randall Cobb, right? He'll be there. There's no market for Randall Cobb. It's like he's with Aaron Rodgers or that's it. I mean, so they can bring him in at any point. This guy has got some real, tangible talents where, we've had moments over his first 4 years where we've gone, holy crap, whoa, what a play. Oh, whoa, he looks like he got shot out of a cannon. I mean, he has that type of ability. He's not Tyreek Hill, but like you said, in theory, that's why he was drafted, and he's one of those guys that's more than what you call a receiver. He's a weapon. And he, of course, is a professional. He's been on a Super Bowl team. And now you talk about Allen Lazard and Garrett Wilson on the outside, and now Mecole Hardman can do some of the slot stuff and the cute stuff that we talked about, the speed sweeps and all that. I think it's a great combination. We'll see what they do with Corey Davis, a receiver, but Randall Cobb, I think, is more about round out the roster, make Rodgers feel good, help coach up the rest of the receivers on the roster. We'll see where that goes. But I like this, Mike. I like this. And Mike, off of that, too, as it pertains to Kansas City, I think you hit the nail right on the head there. They don't give a damn. I mean, they know they can make it work with just about anything. They got Mahomes. They got Kelsey. I think they liked what they saw from Sky Moore, right? They were going all in on Kadarius Toney to fill the Mecole Hardman role, right? So he's going to do that and be that guy. And they got MVS still, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and I'm sure they'll add a guy in the draft or so. So, they've proven they can weather that storm. But I think the Jets, yeah, they're setting it up for Super Bowl, make Rodgers feel comfortable, and I like the move. It's definitely, I think, an improvement over Elijah Moore, which I think is still a toss-up to how good he was going to be.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.